finally got back to the comic shop. Now, before I get into the comics, this was a pretty impromptu visit. So what happened was on Veterans Day, don't I know I'm filming this ahead of time, but it was not that far ahead of time. Don't get me wrong. But on Veterans Day, and honestly, this is good content too to show what I got there. But on Veterans Day, I went to the mall and I was gonna shop at Newbury. I was gonna get comics there. There's actually 4 of the comics here. I did end up getting this time around. I talked myself out of it. Is the point. And then I got video games at GameStop just for 2 of them not to work. And because GameStop is 7 days and then you can't return it no more, I can't return it no more. Now, if I go to a different location, GameStop, they can get me a replacement for the games, but based off one of the glitches, I'll call it glitch, that's a game-breaking glitch, I think I can't return. I think, yes, I can return it. But I think that it's a game-breaking glitch that's on my console, and no matter what, how many copies of the game I get. Which is really annoying because it's a really fun game. For those of you who want to know, it's DC versus Mortal Kombat. And I know people don't like that game because it's not M-rated Mortal Kombat, but I like the, no pun intended, the combat in that game more than Injustice. I love Injustice. I think Injustice is the overall better game. However, I also think that DC Universe Mortal Kombat has better combat and just better game mechanics too. Those of you who play will know what I'm talking about. I'm not getting into detail. And the other one was Far Cry 4, which that one so both those replacement games, and Far Cry 4 arguably was it's like just my older copy was just starting to act up. For those of you who aren't in the know, because I think I have mentioned this on here before, and especially in live streams with Logan's Media Hub, I feel like I have explained it. And I mean this, like, not exaggerating one at all, but my Xbox scratches my discs. My Xbox 360, it's old, to be fair, it's a 360, I've had it since 2011, but it scratches my discs. Just like how most Xboxes do that, because the Xbox 360 was rushed in development. And what's even more ironic is I have the newer model. The one that doesn't get the red ring of death. I don't know, man. Anyways, let's get into the comics that I got. First up, so we have 2 that I was so surprised to find. So surprised to find because of the fact that Newbury Comics isn't... So it's Newbury Comics where I went. Because Newbury Comics isn't the best at having new releases. In fact, there's a book that I was expecting to find there, and I would have bought right off the bat, that was released... it should have been in comic shops at that time, and it wasn't there. And I double-checked this time, and it still wasn't there. It was really weird. And it's not like it's not a series that's, like, super popular. Maybe because of how popular it seems to be on Amazon, maybe someone bought it right away. I don't know. But anyways, first up, we have Volume 4 of Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers run, which collects issues, I want to say 1924? Yes, 1924, in a story from the Energon Universe Special 2025. And it collects the final issues of Daniel Warren Johnson's run on Transformers. So now I have no excuse to get the rest of his work, because for the longest time I was like, oh, okay, screw off Daniel Warren Johnson for, until Transformers is done, which is, looks like it's never going to be done. And I didn't think it was going to happen, I didn't think what was going to happen, that Robert Kirkman would come after on issue 25, but that's what it was looking like. So now I can get the rest of what I need from Daniel Warren Johnson's Image work. Maybe next month. I don't know. I kind of split between taking off some of the books that I have and, not doing that, but time will tell. And because this is volume 4, and I didn't get like all 4 volumes at once, we'll show the kind of break a rule and show the artwork for volume 4. Now it's only kind of breaking this rule because I obviously, when it comes to this, no problem, so to speak, with breaking the rule. Now what am I even talking about? So if I had bought all 4 volumes of Transformers at one time, like this time I bought all 4 volumes of Transformers, what I do is I only show the artwork from volume 1. just in case, even if Volume 2, there's a huge spoiler right off the bat, and I'm none the wiser, so I'd rather show it off from the first few pages of the volume 1 than even the first few pages of Volume 2. But when it comes to, and again, I just bought Volume 4, and so obviously, gotta show the artwork for Volume 4. So that is Transformers. The next one, not only was I surprised to find this one, but I was surprised to find out that there was variant covers for Invincible Universe Battle Beast Volume 1. Specifically called Volume 1 Heart of Glory. Now when I saw Volume 1, I was like, ah shit, is it gonna come for another, is it gonna be an ongoing? I kinda hope not. I kinda hope this is all, because this is, the Invincible Universe shit is getting a bit ridiculous. Capes makes sense. Capes is it's coming back with new dialogue. I kind of hate this. New dialogue and I think new artwork. But it's a reprinting of the old series. Now, why can't it just be extended edition? You know, I don't mind that. There's actually a comic I'm getting this month as an extended edition of something I'm glad I didn't buy myself. Yeah, why this? With Capes. But Capes, at the very least, is just a reprinting, basically, with some additional changes made. Which I don't like, but whatever. But and even then, it looks to be a mini-series. Now, there's several mini-series in the series. I don't know. Because when I looked up Capes, just some pure curiosity, I was wondering when the trade would come out. It did say Compendium, like as one of the search things on Amazon, search results, suggestions. But that's the way Amazon does it. Amazon will say like Volume 5 of a series that's only 4 volumes, so you know they obviously aren't accurate, but. And again, who knows? But yeah, so it's just, I would really like it if Invincible stayed as Invincible. Like, this is the last spin-off we got. Now, that's crazy talk to someone like me, I get it, and like, someone like me who hasn't finished Invincible, I know how, even I know, based on what I've watched on the TV show, I know and read from the comics, I've read the first 2 oversized hardcovers, but I know how extensive that universe can be. It's like the Marvel universe, the DC universe. It's just, in my opinion, like you did 3 full big-ass compendiums. You have of the original Invincible series, the actual series. Then you have the Invincible universe of the spin-offs. And now you have this, you have Capes, you have Tech Jacket. You just have so many, and there's actually another one I can't remember the name of. I'm sure that anything there is another one. It's so much fucking Invincible, and it's kind of annoying. Only kind of, though. Like, once I get everything, I won't be so annoying. And again, it's a completist of me talking. And even then, it's still a Robert Kirkman, and when you boil it all down, I haven't even gotten all of Robert Kirkman's image work, so why should I be complaining? Who am I to complain? Now, they have a little... So, I don't know if you can exactly see this. I'm going to try and illuminate it in the light. But it has that weird, like, almost water damage feeling. And I know it's not water damage. I know it's just a wavy pages. It's kind of annoying. Why are we doing this in 2025? Are they I wonder if they're just trying to get it to where there's a nice 2-page spread, or not 2-page spread, it's a nice 2-page. Here's what I'm trying to get at. Now, I wonder if you need to have read Invincible beforehand, or at least his first appearance. But it only collects. No, it says and new readers alike. So it's perfect for the longtime fans and new readers alike. But this one collects Battle Beasts 1 through 6. Not that it matters anyways. I'll probably try and read all of Invincible before I get into this. But yeah, all 6 issues are the first 6 issues of Battle Beast. Because to be fair, it didn't say anything about it being a miniseries. Let's see if it does say anything. Now, it's not... At least I don't think this is the case. It's not like Hornsby and Halo and honestly all the Jeff Johns Geiger universe Ghost Machine books, not universe, you call it Ghost Machine. Ghost Machine books where Volume 1 comes out significantly later than the issues that are collected. Like, so what Image Comics typically does is like, hey, here's all 6 issues that are collected in Volume 1. Sometimes you get real lucky, like with Snot Girl, where it goes on hiatus because the trade's coming out. And still no news of it coming back. Issue 21 has no release date as of this recording. Not even February. Like, they recently had their February 2026 solicitations, Snark Girl is not on there. But of course, a series from William Harms is on there, like a new William Harms Image comic series, and I never thought that guy was ever coming back. First of all, it's an unknown name. I don't think he even has his own official page, and even that is probably incomplete because the Image Comics website kind of sucks. And then it was a long time ago. Like I think the last thing he did was probably like 2018, if that, maybe 2017. So I'm thinking of 24 minutes. I think that was his 35 minutes, whatever it's called. I think that was his last series, and even that was an OGN. It's just annoying to me because again, it's a completist of me talking where I need everything where I'm and everything in like that. Like it's like Warren Ellis coming back. You never would expect it to happen in a million years, and that would never happen either because he's all that shit. But like it's nice knowing I have all this shit, really different Image, except for a couple things that are unfortunately only available through DC Comics now. At least it looks like that's the case. And yes, it is a super big headache. And yes, it does annoy me. So I gotta try to find... Yeah, nothing. So where even is Battle Beast? Way back here. Because Robert Kirkman's doing a lot for Image. Which makes sense. Still Transformers, still Skin Breaker, still Capes. That was just November, my god. One page is just... I think they have February now, or maybe March. Because some of them they have ahead of time. But yeah, I couldn't even find... It was just November. There it is, Battle Beast. Doesn't say anything about it being a mini-series. Doesn't say 6 of 6 at all, so... Maybe it is coming back. Yeah, just February. So from November to February, it's one page. Like, you have to go to the next page to find out anything beyond November. That's crazy. Or... earlier than November. That's crazy. It makes sense though. He's not even just a writer anymore. He's like what, chief creative officer or something like that. He has Skybound. Skybound is his baby. It's crazy. All right. So we got Invincible. We showed off that, and as much as I hate to say it, the last series is. Gotta make sure it goes in order. Radiant Black. Now, what was really nice about this visit to Image Comics, to Newbury Comics, was that they had to buy one, get one half off. And they didn't have that when I went on Veterans Day. So I'm so glad I decided to wait on purchasing what I needed left of Radiant Black for when it was the sale. And also, so Radiant Black is a series I kind of dropped off on. I was like, yeah, I'll get it when I get it. Kind of kept putting it off. That's why a visit like this was so crucial, because I was fine with getting this. I was fine with getting, when I do comic calls in general, like when I'm doing Amazon, I do, and something like that, I do typically like to get series that are complete, This is not complete. This, like Transformers, is an ongoing series. And I hate to say it, but probably like Invincible Universe, Battle Beast. It is an ongoing series. And typically, I don't like filling up the comic calls with so much of that shit, because it's just like, well, it's not complete. It's still going. Hence the term ongoing. But how far behind do I really want to be with Radiant Black? I'm already pretty far behind Rogue Sun, and I don't like that. So when it comes to Radiant Black, do I really want to be that far behind? And the answer to that is a big resounding no. At least for series like World Tree, I only have Volume 1. And for Feral too, So I wait on those series to be complete for me to even jump into that. And Department of Truth, I'm also behind on. So many series I'm behind on. I think what I should do is make an effort to, when I go to a comic shop, to at least get caught up on that. But anyways, time will tell what I actually end up doing. So let's get into it. Volume 4 collects 1924 plus supplementary material. And Volume 4 is specifically called 2-in-1. Yeah, I had Volume 3, and I didn't even know I had Volume 3, so I almost bought it myself. I was like, I think I only had the first two. And what was really weird is that Team Up didn't ring any bells. And that's what Volume 3 is called. And then when I read it home, I was like, I feel stupid for even asking the question, do I have Volume 3 at home? No, I don't, and getting all confused and whatnot. And that's why, too, we only show the artwork for Volume 4. But this is the main series in the Radiant Black universe. Rogue Senate is a spin-off. Dead Lucky is a spin-off. They have a one-shot called Shift, which is just the Image Comics anthology, that 2022 30th anniversary anthology series they did that still hasn't had an official hardcover release. I think they should have just done that. A hardcover release of the issues themselves, not of, oh, Patrick Kindlon, let's get this one out. Oh, Kyle Higgins, let's get a one shot on the Kindle, or if you're lucky enough, the comic shop. I really think they should have done a hardcover, oversized omnibus of all of it. Yeah, it would have been kind of annoying, because it probably would have been over $100, or $100 at the cheapest, but worth it. Okay. I'll show the artwork for Radiant Black already, so I'm not going to show it again. Radiant Black Volume 5, Catalyst War Crisis, collects Radiant Black 27 to 25 to 27.5 issues. Now, so what it does, and I'm glad I looked this up here, is there's A and B stories for issues 25 through 27. This trade collects them both. And that's a thing that we take for granted. Like, honestly, I would not be super surprised if they didn't collect that, and they collected it in like a later trade. Because Marvel does that. So Marvel, what they did for their reprinting of Marvel Comics Presents, when the trade came out, you got 2 trades for one miniseries. Bullshit. It wasn't like it was a 64-page giant, so you couldn't collect them all in one trade. You could collect them all in one trade. It was like 33 pages at most. But because Marvel Comics wants to I'm not going to be that crude about it, I was going to say the R word. Because Marvel Comics wants to destroy your wallet, eviscerate your wallet, they're like, nope, we're gonna suck every last cent out of that wallet. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm so glad I'm an Image Comics booster and not a Marvel Comics booster. You know, when it comes to the library and it comes to digital sales, sure. Like, just recently I bought 2 Marvel comics because, actually, was it 2 or 3? No, it was 2. They were on sale because, like, I can't pass those up. And I was happy I got them. And when it comes to the library, local libraries, sometimes they will have new releases. Not all the time, not always what I want them to have, but they'll have new releases. So I'll read my Modern Marvel that way. But it's one of those things, and it's the case with all other publishers. Image Comics is like an only publisher. That's what I decided back in 2022, and I've stuck with it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to read every Batman comic, every Superman comic, every Spider-Man comic. But I at least want to die on the hill that I've read all of Paper Girls and Walking Dead and Wayward and soon-to-be Skull Kickers. You know, I'd rather have that legacy than the legacy of, yeah, I read Spider-Man. Which run? Roger Stern. Did you read it when he came? Did you read the issues when he came back to Spider-Man? He came back to Spider-Man? Yeah, recently. It's actually an ongoing series, and there's a bunch of spin-offs, and if you think the omnibus to 2 omnis you have, Untold Tales and his main run, Spider-Man, is the only thing he ever did with Spider-Man, it's a laugh. It's the completist of me kind of hated it, honestly. Because after a while, it was like, cool, let's say, have all of Nick Spencer's run. Well, it goes on to Zeb Wells' run, then Joe Kelly's run, and soon to be Spencer Ackerman's run, which I don't think, and that's a fake thing there. Spencer Ackerman is just doing Iron Man right now, and not only a good job of it. So that's my 2 cents. We have Radiant Black Volume 5. 2 more, then we're done. I can, ironically enough, get back to my reading comics. Reading comics. Otherwise, that's a lot go like that. Radiant Black Volume 6. The Catalyst War Infinite Earths. What? Is that the same thing as 1? No. So, oh, I get it. So, Volume 5 is Catalyst War Crisis, and Volume 6 is Catalyst War Infinite Earths. I get it. I don't know why they didn't just say on Infinite Earths, so it would be officially a, like word for word. Maybe they can. Maybe that's technically would breach some copyright laws. They had to do like the Snickles version of not saying the real candy, but you know what the real candy is because of copyright. But I doubt that. But still, I get it. Very funny. And then volume 6 collects Radiant Black issues 28 to 30.5, so A and B issues, and Supermassive 2024. Now, I wonder if that just collects the Radiant Black story or the entirety of 2024 Supermassive. Let's see. Now, I don't know if Supermassive is necessarily one big one-shot, or if it's an anthology of stories, like a Radiant Black story or a Dead Lucky story. I don't know. I know every single author that has worked on Radiant Black or its spin-offs is present in the Supermassive universe books, but still. I wonder if it's anthologies. And then volume 7 is called All New, All Different, also ironic. And then it collects Radiant Black 31 and 36. They stopped with all the A and B stories, which I do appreciate. And this entire series is written by Kyle Higgins with artwork done by Marcelo Costa. Co-writer is Joe Clark. Artist is... Oh, it's created by. Got it. And then the artist here is Eduardo Ferrigato, with Marcelo Costa and Stefano Simone for some issues. And then the colorist is Rod Fernandez for the entire, series. I just realized I did not tell you guys who the writer and artist was for Transformers. The artist was for Transformers. We already went over it's Daniel Warren. We already went over that it's Daniel Warren Johnson doing the writing, but the artwork here is Daniel Warren Johnson for some pages, and then Eludo Lullaby does some pages, and then George Corona is the main artist. So it's all three names. They're artists. And Mike Spicer and Adriano Lucas are the colorists. Again, some pages for each writer, for each name. Yes, it is confusing. And then Battle Beast, the artist here is Ryan Otley, which is the same artist that did Invincible. So nice. And then Annalisa Leone is a colorist for Battle Beast. This is why I do a separate video for the complete comic haul of November 2025. Even if I did just show off every last comic I got. Obviously, that's not the case here, but I did want to make a separate video at the very least for the Back to the Comic Shop video. But that, as they say, is that. So yeah, it was all the comics I got when I went to Newbury. I was very fortunate they had a buy one get one half off, because otherwise I would not have been able to afford all the comics I got. Now, did I spend every last penny I had in my wallet, cash-wise? No. Obviously not. But I did definitely go hard in a good way. But that, as I say, is that.